I'm Dr. Armin Feldman, and I want to thank you for watching this video. Physicians Legal Consultants provides pre-trial, pre-litigation medical consulting to personal injury and workers' compensation claimant attorneys. We've been providing consultations for over 8 years. We've consistently gotten feedback from your colleagues that we're helping to increase case value, save attorney time, and we're doing it without breaking the bank. All of our work is designed to increase case value and help you get the appropriate medical care for your clients. We can provide you with over a dozen consultation services. The best way I can explain some of our services is to briefly go over a few redacted reports taken from actual cases. You have a link on this page to download sample redacted reports. If you haven't already done so, I suggest you download the reports and follow along as I explain how we can help you and your clients. Obviously, you can read the complete reports at your convenience, and I urge you to do so. The most requested service we provide is to put together medical summary reports. Some attorneys use these reports for case management. However, far and away, most attorneys ask us to prepare these reports to submit as part of their settlement demand letters. In fact, we have attorneys who ask us to do a medical summary report for every case. What makes these reports different than case summaries done by you, your paralegal, or a nurse is that we render medical opinions. We summarize the entire case, including all the medical damages, and render medical opinions regarding injuries, mechanism of injury, causation, symptoms and functional loss, and we paint a picture of the medical damages, including loss of activities of daily living and the ability to work. We also give opinions about future medical care and costs, and finally, we back up all of our opinions with evidence from the medical literature. Let's briefly go over a redacted medical summary report. This is sample report number 1. There are 2 sections of the report I want to quickly emphasize. First, take a look at the section on ongoing medical problems. Then we'll move on to the section on future medical care and costs. In this particular report, a 21-year-old woman was the front seat passenger of a vehicle that broadsided a car making an illegal left-hand turn. This woman, as you can see, was left with several ongoing medical problems, including a mild traumatic brain injury, a temporomandibular joint disorder, and a severe radial bone fracture in the arm. Her most severe problem was a TBI and subsequent post-concussion syndrome, and it's the first problem listed in the ongoing medical problems section. Her biggest problem from the TBI was significant cognitive loss. The client's symptoms are spelled out, including memory loss, attention difficulty, problems processing information, and many other symptoms of cognitive impairment. We then give our opinions regarding mechanism of injury, in this case, a whiplash event. We go on to outline our opinion regarding causation using the Freeman criteria, and we back up all of our opinions with evidence from the medical literature, as you can see. We then give examples of how these symptoms affect her everyday life, including her poor performance in college, which had never been a problem before the accident. As you read through the report, you'll see we follow this same pattern regarding her TMJ and her fractured radial bone. The other section I want to highlight is the section on future medical care and costs at the end of the report. You can see there are both a narrative and a chart outlining our opinions. In our experience, even very good attorneys have tended to underestimate future medicals. Now, let me direct you to the last page of the report, and you'll find a chart outlining our opinions regarding this client's future medical care and costs. On the preceding page, you'll see a narrative explanation of the chart. Let's move on to another service we offer that's requested by your colleagues almost as often as the request for medical summary reports. We actually physically sit in and observe IMEs done by other physicians. We can then write an IME rebuttal report when indicated. In these reports, we'll give our opinions based on our review of the medical records and interview with your client, usually done by phone prior to the IME or as part of your prep meeting, as well as our observation of the history and the physical done in the IME and our review of the medical literature. Take a look at sample report number 2, an IME rebuttal. Let me briefly point out the highlights. In this case, the client tore his rotator cuff and subsequently had a surgical repair. Following post-surgical treatment, including physical therapy, the client went back to his surgeon complaining of shoulder pain, loss of range of motion, and loss of shoulder function that was very similar to his symptoms after his injury. The surgeon explained, in some cases, a revision rotator cuff surgery is needed. The other side said they wouldn't approve payment for the revision surgery without an IME. The IME report came back stating the first surgery was a success and a revision surgery was not required. Take a look at the first page of the report, the end of the 4th paragraph, where we state, if success of the surgery is measured by dye leakage on arthrogram after a rotator cuff repair, then I would agree with Dr. Gatsby. It is my opinion most surgeons would consider shoulder function, range of motion, and degree of pain as indicators of surgical repair success. On the second page, the first full paragraph, we state, the absolute nature of Dr. Gatsby's conclusion, quote, a second arthroscopic rotator cuff repair will in no way improve Mr. B's function and it will not improve his pain, end quote, cannot be made. There's an abundance of evidence in the surgical literature that refutes Dr. Gatsby's statement, and we go on to quote that literature. The attorney in this case used this report to successfully get the revision surgery for his client as part of the settlement. Another service we offer is to answer specific medical questions in cases. Many times the purpose of this kind of report is to help you develop medical theories for the case. The question in this case was, did the auto crash cause the client's appendicitis? Now, take a look at sample report number 3. In this case, a 23-year-old woman broadsided a vehicle making an illegal right-hand turn. The client developed acute appendicitis 6 hours after the auto accident, then presented to the ER, and then had an appendectomy. On careful questioning by our consulting doctor, the client reported blunt force trauma to her abdomen when she hit the steering wheel. As you can see on page 2, we quote the medical literature stating that blunt force trauma to the abdomen, particularly in teens and young adults, can precipitate acute appendicitis. And then in the section Causation Opinion, we give our opinion stating the auto crash was the direct cause of this client's acute appendicitis and subsequent appendectomy. There are several other services we offer that we can discuss in detail by phone. You downloaded a list of all of our services along with the sample reports. Very briefly, we review cases for validity and value. We interpret the meaning or lack thereof of medical reports and records. We do standard of care reviews. As well, we do medical case coordination. We act as a liaison between attorneys and treating doctors. We have the ability to refer you to appropriate medical experts. We do reports specific to future medical care and costs. We can do medical research and deliver medical journal articles to you. We can facilitate communication with clients, families, professionals, and service and governmental agencies. We do independent record reviews. We can help you develop medical theories. For deposition and trial, we can be tableside or prepare questions in advance, as well as the services I just outlined. Obviously, if you're planning to litigate and expect a trial or in workers' comp, an administrative hearing, then you'll need experts in every area of injury. The feedback that we've gotten on the 8 to 9 cases out of 10 that you settle is that what the attorney needs to negotiate and settle cases for better value are well thought out, well presented medical opinions backed up by evidence from the medical literature. I can tell you our reports are certainly seen by opposing counsel. They're almost always seen by adjusters and often seen by judges and the treating doctors. The consistent feedback from your colleagues is that we're helping to increase case value in cases that are settled. We've made a business decision to keep our fees reasonable, so you'll feel comfortable calling on us for consultations and still make it cost effective. On what cases would you like us to immediately consult? Call me now at 800-619-5438 to refer a case or to ask further questions. You can also click on the link below the video to send me an email so we can schedule a time to talk by phone or to indicate that you have a case to send our way. We're all busy, and I know the services that we offer are currently not part of your standard operating procedure. Don't put off calling or emailing us, then get into your busy routine and miss the opportunity to send a case. Contact us now so you don't miss out on this valuable resource for you and your clients. Thanks again for taking the time to learn more about these consultation services. Call me, 800-619-5438.